SHILO. I'm out. On today, reading rain. I can't read anything. Hey man, we out here this morning. We out here today on another one. All praises the Most High and allowed us to have life today, sight today, hearing today, feeling today, speech today. We have everything we need to succeed today. Movement today. Got everything we need to succeed, man. So, without further ado, but anyway, come on, let's go. We gotta, we're gonna feed our mind for sure with some medical apartheid, chapter 1 today. But before we do, we've been on a good little routine lately. As of about last week, I want to say, we're on a good little routine. We're gonna exercise our body first, exercise our mind, and we'll end and leave off with exercising our body again. Oh man, 25 things. Give me 25. Drop down and give me 25. Drop down and get your eagle on. Give me 25 things, baby. Whatever you're going to do, man, get up, do something, make a move. Don't be lazy, man. Get up, get your behind up. Get up out the bed. If you're in the bed, get your butt out the bed. Rise up and still we rise. Rise your butt up. Do something, man. I got my little shit right here. We about to do something, man. We about to do 25 of them things. 25 somethings. And boy, talk about, oh man. I know you don't be wanting to do it. Get your ass up and do it. That's what I gotta tell myself. Get your ass up and do it. Get up. Get up. Hurry up. Get your ass up. 25 things. Man, come on. 25. 25 lighters on my dresser. Yes, sir. I got to get paid. Come on with me. 25 things. Let's get there. 25, baby. Rock it. 2. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 10. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 20. 21. 22. Get it up. 23. Get that one up. 24. Get it up. One more. Whew. All right. Whew. 25. Before we can read. Whew. All right. Now let's get ready to read. Catch your breath. Get comfortable. Whew. And let's get going into the medical apartheid. And finally get into chapter 1 of Miss Harriet A. Washington's book. Man, it's a bestseller. Highly nominated. From colonial times to the present. The dark history of medical experimentation on Black Americans from colonial time until the present. We're not going to read the whole chapter 1 because it's long. But we will dive in and at least get to going and see what can we unpack? What can we discover? What treasures lie in wait for us in chapter 1, part 1, chapter 1, in tradition. Part 1. Southern. Yeah, we have everything we need to succeed. Let's succeed. Chapter 1, Southern Comfort. Appreciate the comment. Nobody. Appreciate the comment. Celia's child, about 4 months old, died last night, the 12th. This is 2 Negroes and 3 horses I have lost this year. Frederick Gardner, a peripatetic Mormon physician, left among his travel memoir. There are a great number of Negroes, nearly all of whom are slaves. And on different streets are large halls accompanied as marts or stores for the sale or purchase of slaves. While I've been looking at one of whom, as they move forward, one is called upon to stand up. Then another, while a passage is made, transferred time, nor do I believe that it occurs very often. I bet simple-minded, kind-hearted people against their own interests to brutally treat their slaves. Enslavement could not have existed and certainly could not have persisted without medical science. However, they don't like when I read stuff like this. But although medicine was essential to enslavement, the apparent solicitude for the health of slaves was not all it seemed. Rather, the medical interests of the slave were often diametrically opposed to the interests of his own. And the end of the 19th century, the slave and the physician shared an unrecognizably primitive medical world. The germ theory that revealed the microbial nature of much disease and led to the first grand waves of disease cures was still well in the future. The existence of pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi was unsuspected. Almost no effective treatment existed for prevalent diseases until the 18th century. And until the late 1830s, the lack of effective anesthesia made a few common surgical 17 ephemeral. Who knows what a EPA? Let's see right quick. EPA. Let's see right quick. ERA is ephemeral. Ephemeral. ERAL, ephemeral. What does it mean? Well, it's on the top. Ephemeral. Lasting one day only. Ephemeral. Lasting a very flowers and dies in a few days. An ephemeral. All right, let's see if we can make sense. That makes sense. Ephemeral. Ephemeral. Rising momentarily with epidemics of yellow solved. Even the simplest public health measures and sound, contained food supply, sewage management, and quantitative disease reporting were all effective disease therapies and no antibiotics. Very slow to cross the Atlantic, such as widespread vaccines of the hospital. all them Negroes as study here. For the primitive version to medical care into context. For most antebellum blacks were subject was home to 90% of American blacks, the majority of whom were enslaved until 1865. All them. 30% of the middle pack. 4 million slaves had a value of $4 billion. How much is that per slave? If it was $1 million per slave, it would be $4 million today. South was experience. South was experience. Visited marshy climate, poor sanitation, and public health vacuum. Although the South harbored the highly visible affluent class, the region's relative poverty led to the dearth of medical care and a host of unrecognized nutritional deficiency diseases. So did enslavement. A dramatically misunderstood set of disease etiologies led to the adoption of heroic remedies calculated to kill and cure. Through the 18th century, poisons such as arsenic or calomel, a compound of mercury, and many other remedies contained highly toxic substances such as mercury and addictive Schedule II narcotics, including the opiates, laudanum, opium, and morphine, as well as cocaine derivatives. It was on that white girl. I feel the doctor. Is in me. I can feel it. These medicines addicted, sick, and chemical pneumonitis, like pneumonia, chemical pneumonitis, or progressive lung injury, if inhaled during a bout of iatrogenic or physician-triggered vomiting. No studies seem to have been done on this point, but such lung injuries may have helped to account for slaves' higher death rate from respiratory disease. We still have, I think, a lot of people of color still have a problem with respiratory. It's still a big respiratory thing. I think that's, one of the highest issues, other shit like that. Maybe it's the air down here ain't good for us. Induced vomiting was an everyday event because the common denominator of medical techniques is the period. In this period was the violent release of bodily fluids, copious bleeding, blistering, and the induction of violent diarrhea was standard therapies. It's like bloodletting back in the day for barbers. As a barber, that was one of the things we learned about bloodletting, is to, where they take that razor and cut you up. They'll cut you and release that blood out your skin, thinking that it would cause the disease, pathogens, the whatever the ailments to be released from the body. Did you know that barbers were some of the first physicians, the first dentists, and also your barber? I'll feed you up and pull your kid. Harsh laxatives are producing copious diarrhea, which leach nutrients, water, and electrolytes from the body. They also invited painful bed sores, which are open to infection unchallenged by antibiotics. These crude therapies were not only unpleasant, but debilitating to ill persons and even to the strong and healthy. Arsenic, for example, produced not only the intended vomiting and diarrhea, but also a wide range of other problems, including fainting, heart disease, disorders of the nervous system, gangrene, and cancers. Mercury's very serious effects included injury to the nervous system, kidney and heart disease, lung injury, and respiratory distress. Mercury crossed the I know this word. Placental. Mercury crossed the placental barrier. I believe that's the barrier in your mind, in your head. Over your brain. Let's look it up. Placental. The placental barrier. And concentrated in breast milk, contributing to the high Black infant death and birth defect rates. Okay, maybe the placental is not that. Maybe it has something to do with the mammary glands. Placental. Since Mercury crossed the placental barrier and concentrated in breast milk. Yeah, I think okay. Placental. 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 I think at first I thought it was a barrier for the brain, but apparently it's a barrier to the barrier. L-A. Placenta. Okay. Placenta. Placental. Placental. Not in this. Let me write it down anyway. Placental. C-E-N-T-A-L. Placental. 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 The placental. Placental. That makes a lot more sense. Placental. Sounds like placenta. How does it affect? Because it crosses the placental barrier and concentrated in breast milk. So is that two separate things? Is that two separate things? It crosses that barrier. Okay, let's just say placental is placenta. So it crosses the placenta barrier, and then on top of it crossing the placenta barrier, it gets concentrated in the breast milk. Maybe that's what it's saying. Placental barrier. Placental barrier. Definition for it is just a addition to placenta, placentas, placentae, placental. The vascular monotremes and marsupials that unite the fetus and placental. So I guess right here. Mercury crossed the placental barrier. Fatal. The 1799 death of bloodletting the debilitating former president could ill afford is perhaps the best known example of treason. So they killed President George Washington by bloodletting. However, whites of the slave-owning class enjoyed better initial health. better nutrition, and less exposure to infects. Slave owners did not suffer from overwork and exposure, so bloodletting. Since this, many physicians and scientists discouraged bloodletting for slaves. Thomas Jefferson, statesman and amateur physician scientist, wrote unequivocally, nations did not listen. Dr. Lunsford Yandell wrote, on March 16th of 1833, I was called before ounces of blood. I took from her ounces of blood. That's a lot. I waited ocean. Damn. Such techniques as cupping, the use of heating glass jars to create a partial vacuum that drew blood upward to the skin surface and through the incision of the skin, and trephination, the therapeutic drilling of holes in the skull, were risky for pampered, well-nourished adults living in relatively healthy environments. But they were fatal attentions for sickly, undernourished, and exhausted slaves and for their children, who were at even higher risks, of succumbing to anemia and dehydration. Shalom, my son. Let me look at your face. Oh, you got 6 muscles. Oh, the Most High gave you muscles. Oh, the Most High gave you ears. Oh, the Most High gave you eyes. Oh, gave you legs. And arms. Oh, the Most High gave you everything you need. Oh, man. You got everything you need to succeed. You got everything you need. I'm so glad that the Most High gave me another day with you. I got another day. Boy, I do what I'm gonna do. Boy, your mouth.
If you flip me over like it's
yes. Brush your teeth. Wash your face. Have you brushed your teeth? Oh, no, you ain't brushed your teeth. Fucking get your butt out of here. All right. Thanks to poorly constructed slavery, was in shacks that served as slave hospitals, even minor incisions or injuries. Southern medicine of the 18th and early 19th centuries was harsh. Revealed these crudely empirical practices, which countenanced a hazardous degree of ad hoc experimentation. We'll see how that works. Does it? Some humane plantation owners were careful to choose less risky work in some forms of mining, tobacco production, rice. In these settings, the slave became ominously medical care, deciding when and what type of care was to be given. Dose their own slaves as long as they could before calling in physicians, who usually saw slaves only in extremes. Journals and memoirs, physicians constantly decreed that planters' physicians' records of the slaves of the institution. Planters provide professional medical care. Owners also restricted access to. You out there malingering? Get your malingering ass up, boy. And you sick? No, you malingering. You sick? No, you malingering. Stop malingering around here. Stop malingering around here. We got work to do. And planters records reveal that an owner faced with a sick slave was likely to believe the illness was fiend. In her excerpts, healing health and the power that she pretended. She pretended. That's what she did. Pretended. That's what she did. Pretended. Charges of yeah, I'm just tripping, man. Look, I'm gonna just try to get to a stopping point here soon. I'm gonna read about another page if I can, as long as it's not tripping like it is right now. I mean, like it hasn't. I don't know why it's tripping. I'm gonna read about another page or so and find a stopping point, and then we'll come back later and finish off chapter 1. I'll be back later on to finish off chapter 1, because we'll have about the way it's acting right now. I don't want it to keep cutting off. We're almost an hour in. We're almost an hour into the reading. Like I said, I want to read for at least an hour. We'll keep going just a little bit, but I don't want it to keep stopping on y'all. We're going to soon be through with chapter 1. We'll finish chapter 1 today. Later on today. We're going to finish chapter 1 later on today, but I'm going to get to a stopping point. I'm going to read about if it holds, if YouTube holds. Definitely another page. I'm going to finish off this page and the opposite page. I'm about halfway through this page, so I'll finish off that page and get to the stopping point, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it does, and we'll go from there. He shared an incident in which he had accidentally administered an overdose of ammonium carbonate, a corrosive white powder that was often used as smelling salts to a slave shamming an epileptic fit. The burning sensation shocked her into abandoning her performance, and McLeod, like many other doctors, began to advocate such veiled medical violence when confronted with questionable illness in slaves. But masters also responded to suspected malingering or prolonged illness by frank abuse. Thomas Chaplin wrote in his Planter's Journal, "Mary came out of the sick house today, and rather was whipped out. Owners and physicians also blurred the therapeutic line by referring jocularly to whipping as medicine for malingering slaves. One complaining woman was treated with a cow's skin or hickory switch to scourge her. Emphasis added." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. Yes, sir. You can have a hug. I love you, my son. All right. Go finish eating food. Other doctors recommended that an owner apply 9 drops of essence of rawhide or oil of hickory to the back of a sick slave. Narratives occasionally speak of the kindness of. He told WPA interviewers that the slave was too sick to work. Sometimes, but most physicians shared the economic and political interests of slave owners and conspired with planters, their real clients, to subjugate slaves by invading their bodies. Former slave Martha Griffith Brown recalled that the kindly wife of Dr. Manley, who sometimes was called in by her master, did not believe in slavery, yet she dared not speak against the peculiar institution of the South. Must be careful. Get to a stopping point there. These beliefs were presented as research findings, explained by scientific theories, and promulgated by whites who were sympathetic to or were actively profiting from the institution of enslavement. So, not surprisingly, scientific racism provided medical and scientific justifications for slavery. Southern scientists claimed that they only could analyze blacks with authority, African Americans, because they were more northern economy, which was not directly based on Southernism, and return south to return Southern mass. And we'll come back later on today, and we will finish. Lost for life. Most High spend my life. We'll come back later on today, and we're going to finish off chapter 1 for sure, man. We're going to finish off chapter 1. I want to keep going. I want to keep going like 2 more pages. I really want to keep going. 2 more pages till I get to a certain spot. Because we're going to have to really push. We're gonna have to push later on to finish off chapter 1, which is what I want to do, a chapter a day. Because the chapters are pretty lengthy, longer than an hour read. And especially if YouTube gonna read longer than I'll read, and especially if YouTube gonna keep being on the humbug. Yeah, it's gonna definitely be a half a chapter session episode. We'll stop there. We'll pick back up in chapter 1 a little later and finish off chapter 1, Southern Discomfort. Southern Discomfort, man, in the Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington. So, which is turning out to be a very, very informative read so far. Very informative. Stuff that I can definitely understand and see happening. And stuff that I can still see as practice today. The theory of the doctor slave or doctor so-called black people hatred or gun line between them is definitely a true thing. It's definitely a true thing and still persists today. When you have so many doctors who are in line with the experimentation and in line with you being the guinea pig for them. As we can see, they have just did not that long ago when they millions was guinea pigged into getting a jab. I hope he wasn't one of the guinea pigs, because when you turn into a zombie, I'm gonna show you the love I have for y'all. I'm gonna be the usher. I'm gonna help usher all my people to the upper room. The upper room when Jesus. Oh, hey, yeah, upper room, baby. We'll send y'all to the upper room for letting the scientists experiment on y'all work our body again, and we're gonna come back later on and do the same thing. Start off with your body, work your mind, and then work your body again, man. We'll leave off with working our body. So, man, hey, whatever you did to start, get ready, man. 25 off. If you ain't did shit to start, then give me 25 now, man. Get your ass up. Get up. Stop being lazy, man. We gotta fix ourselves. We gotta reboot ourselves. We gotta renew ourselves. Oh, we gotta do things to make it better. You gotta be better, do better, show yourself better. All right, 25 things, 25 lighters on my dresser. Yes, sir. All right, so I can see what I'm doing. 25 things. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Still got some more to go. 10 more. 10 more. 10 more to go. Shalom, shalom. 10 more. 10 more to go. 10 more. Bitch, let's get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew. Oh, 6 more. 6 more to go. 6 more. Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm tired. But don't stop. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Come on, bitch, get it up. 6. We in that bit. We in there. Get it up. Hey, get your day started, man. Get your day started. Let's make a move. Choose to do better. Choose to be better. Choose to grow and find growth in your life. Dude. Yeah, them was some heavy ones. I was throwing them things. I got tired in the middle. But man, we'll be back, man. We'll be back on the next episode of Reading with SHILO, where we'll pick back up with the medical apartheid. Yeah. By Harriet A. Washington. Man, let's make a move, man. Get up. You have everything you need to succeed. Everything that you need to succeed. So let's succeed. Let's succeed. No excuses. No excuses. Let's make it happen, Captain. Let's make it happen. Shalom, Zara. Shalom. Till next time, until later on today. Till next time, man. Shalom. SHILO out. I hope you got your 25 in. Work your body, work your mind, work your body. And shit, I work my mind longer than I work my body. But hey, let's keep making it happen. One day at a time. Let's try to be consistent. Let's try to keep the consistency. And hey, we'll get better together mentally and physically. Mentally and physically. At least do something. Do something, man. Do something. Misters and misses, do something. Do something. But shalom, everybody. I hope y'all have a wonderful day today. Man, I'm out here. SHILO out. Shalom. Catch me on the back end.